welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, karibu, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always making time to come and be with me. So, I've been getting, a lot of DMs from you guys, some of you, asking me about, the US spousal visa process, what documents you fill, how you fill them out, what to do, what not to do, and I just answer the questions, but I feel like it's important for me to do a whole video, actually a whole series on the process. That way it can help someone in the future, and anytime now I get someone asking, at least I have a detailed video that I have done and someone can watch and get to use it, and it can help them, right? So I'm going to be taking you through this series. So disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. All I'm telling you is from my experience, and I've also walked this journey with a lot of people. Remember, we have a support group for all the people who are waiting for their US spousal visa here in Nairobi, Kenya. We have a WhatsApp group. So I work, with those people. We share a lot there. So even from that, I get to, get a few tips here and there. So whatever I'm telling you is from my experience and from the experience of the people who have gone before me in that group. Okay. So the process basically is just to run you through what visa it is, what documents you need, how to put the documents together, what happens, what not to do, what you can do to hasten the process or rather expedite the process, what you can do in case you want to transfer your case to another embassy, maybe in case things are taking longer, or you just want to transfer the case to another embassy for one reason or the other. Yeah, and eventually what happens when you go for the interview, and eventually what happens when you cross over to the US and stuff like that. So basically it's a process from zero to the process from start to finish. Yeah, so come with me on this journey. It's gonna be a series that we're gonna dub US spousal visa process. Okay, so I'm hoping you're gonna learn, and it's gonna help you out there. Basically, if you're clicking this, it's because you're probably in the process, or you're dating someone in the US, or you're married to them already and you want to start the process. Okay, so all the best. Let's walk this journey together. So this is enough of me. Now let's go to my computer, because that's where the magic happens.
Maybe just to brush through the process. So with the CR1 visa, which is the spousal marriage visa, it has 3 steps. So the first step is your American partner will apply from the US and send the application to the first agency. It's called the USCIS, US Citizenship and Immigration Services. So when you send your request to bring a family into the US, they will go through your documents, all the documents they've asked you, because there's a form you fill. They go through your case and the documents you've submitted as evidence, and then you get approved. So we move to the next step. The next step is another agency comes in. It's called the NVC, National Visa Center. So the first stage is the American partner to submit the documents. So the second stage is the Kenyan or the partner from abroad to submit their documents. So you submit your police certificates, birth certificate, just your documents and the marriage certificate. You can choose to use a lawyer, but they're very expensive. Now the final stage is the embassy or the consulate in your home country.
So the first step in filing for the US spousal visa is filling in the form I-130. You can see this is how the form looks like. So I'll not go into details about this first stage. This is the initial stage, because then this is supposed to be done by the US citizen or the US lawful permanent resident. Yeah. So I really don't know so much about this first step. So really I won't dwell so much on it, but just to give you an overview of what happens. So this is the first stage, and this is the form that you need. So the US LPR or citizen will get this form. You can get it online. You can get it on the US Citizenship and Immigration Services, Department of Homeland Security. So you can see the form, and then you now tick what applies to you and the visa category that you want. So there are quite a number, you can see. So for us, we did the spouse, IR1 or CR1. So you might ask yourself, what's the difference between IR1 and CR1? IR1 is immediate relative. That means you've been married for more than 2 years. And CR1 is conditional relative. That means you've been married for less than 2 years by the time you're filing for this. Okay? Basically, this is what the form looks like. You just need to fill it out slowly, be very keen on, when you're doing it. So relationship, you are the petitioner, your relative is the beneficiary. So you choose what applies to you there. Information about you. This is the petitioner, the person in the US. And then you go down, you can see it has 12 pages, and then information about you, more, petitioner, still some more other information, mailing address. It's just basically your, information, your marital information. How many times have you been married before? The people who are in their second or third marriages. Information about you still continues, petitioner. So they'll file all this. Then information about your parents. So the petitioner's parents. Yeah? Then information about you, petitioner again. Then you do employment history, then biographic information. Then biographic information continues, beneficiaries, physical address. Then after that is the beneficiaries information. You can see information about beneficiary. Now this is the applicant. In this case, it's me. Yeah? So you put in information about me or the person that's being filed for. It's a long form. You see, but I like that it's very self-explanatory as well. Like it guides you on how to fill up. So interpreter's contact information. This is if you're using an interpreter. That people don't speak English, but they still need to go through this process. So that's where that comes in. So preparer's signature. This is because it can be prepared by a lawyer, or you could be the ones doing it yourself. So that's where you put your signature. Then additional information. That is if you have anything more to add, then you add it here. They have an extra page for you. And remember, when you're filing this thing and it's ready, it's done, and you're ready to scan and send to USCIS, or create an account and start the process, ensure you scan the entire 12 pages. Even if you didn't fill in any information on this last page, just ensure that the entire document has to be 12 pages. Whatever you're submitting to USCIS has to be 12 pages. Okay, so let me go back up. So once you fill in this, you'll need to send it to USCIS. So you can do it online, or you can do it via mail. Americans are very good with using the mails. But I would highly suggest that you do it online. Okay, so you create an account, with the Department of Homeland Security, the US Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS. You start the process. So that's where you're gonna, initiate. You can see the different offices that these things are looked at. For us, because my husband is in Texas, ours was sent to the Texas Center. There's some that is sent to California, there's Nebraska. I can't remember the other one. This thing is a long time since I did it, or since we did it. So the other question that is in your head is, once you file this, how long do you wait until it's approved? Now, that really depends, but immediately you file, of course, they'll send you telling you that they've received, and they will look at it. Yeah, so you are able to still log in the system and be able to monitor the progress and see what it's saying. So for us, we filed this in December 20th. I think more of December 19th, 2020, and it was only approved December 20th, 2021. So it took a whole year. Usually it takes like 3 to 6 months for it to be approved, but I don't know why. Oh, they kept saying COVID backlogs, yeah? So we had to wait a whole year for us to be approved. And sadly, most people are still waiting for 1 year, even until now. I'm shooting this video in 2024, and there are people who are still waiting a whole year to be approved. So that's the average wait time, let me say. Yeah, so once you file, don't be in a rush, just wait 1 year. Okay, so once this happens and you file and you follow up and you wait 1 year, what happens once it's approved? So it could go two ways. You could get a ref, but it's basically a request for more documents or more evidence. So once they go through this, they can request you to add more or to send them more documents. So once you send those documents, then they will take more time to review it, and if they're satisfied, then you'll be approved. There's people who don't get ref, like for us, we didn't get a ref at USCIS. We were approved just after 1 year, we didn't get a ref. So what does the approval email look like? So let's look for the approval email. So once you're approved at USCIS, what you'll do, you'll receive what they call a welcome letter from NVC. Now, NVC stands for National Visa Center. USCIS stands for US Citizenship and Immigration Services. You need to start taking note of, those short forms. So basically, you receive a welcome letter. This is what the welcome letter says. Dear Marion, thank you for your interest in the Department of State's National Visa Center received your approved immigrant visa petition from US Citizenship and Immigration Services. NVC role is to ensure you are prepared for your immigrant visa interview at a US Embassy or Consulate General and to schedule your interview appointment. NVC is responsible for collecting any applicable fees, the immigrant visa application, supporting civil documents, police certificate, affidavits of support, and financial documents, if applicable, prior to your visa interview. Do not mail documents to NVC even if you received instructions to mail documents to NVC in the past. You will need to log on to the Department of State's Consular Electronic Application Center, CEAC. Another thing you need to take note of, to check your case status, pay any necessary fees, upload and submit documents, and read messages from NVC. If you're logging into CEAC for the first time, please be aware that it can take up to 72 hours from receipt of this notice for your account to be activated. Once activated, you can log into CEAC using the following unique NVC case number and invoice identification number. So those two are just under this sentence or this line. So those will always be your login credentials at CEAC. Okay. So you need to have them like nicely stored. Don't ever delete those emails. They are important. Yeah. So that's the welcome letter. So as we receive the welcome letter 1 year later from USCIS, 1 year later of being at USCIS. Okay. So once you receive this letter, what is the next course of action for you? So you need to now log into this CEAC account and create an account, give out all these things they've asked you. Now, the sooner you do this, the better for you, because the sooner you submit everything and they tell you everything is submitted, the better for you, because then you can be reviewed as soon as possible. So if you delay, then it also delays your review time. All right. Let me show you once you've logged into the CEAC account. So the first thing is you need to look for all these things, and each person has a role to play. Each person has a role to play in this stage. The petitioner, who is a US citizen, has a role to play. They're the ones to fill in this affidavit of support. Where is it? Affidavits of support and financial documents. They're the ones to give this. And then for you as the applicant, then yours is to do the supporting civil documents, police certificates, and any other proof that you have to show that your marriage is bona fide. That's what they use. That's the language that is used. Okay. So let's go to CEAC account and we see. I'll just run you through this. So this is how the place looks like. This is how CEAC looks like. The first thing, of course, is read Terms and Privacy Act notice. Then you put in your case number. Remember I told you the two numbers that you need to log in? So you put in those, the case number and the invoice number. So let me do that. So NVC will also send you this email. Greetings from NVC. You are recently notified that we are ready for you to begin filing your application with the National Visa Center. Our role is to collect fees, administratively prepare you for your visa appointment, and schedule your interview. Some people can find these steps to be difficult, so we would like to provide a few helpful reminders as you prepare your application. The most important resource you have for this is our website. Okay, so this just guides you on what you need to do. Okay, this just guides you on what you need to do. You can see. So supporting financial document, in most cases we need to submit an affidavit of support. You can see. And then the tax transcripts, W2s, and proof of income. Okay, so basically this is just to guide you on what to do and what they expect you to do. Once you log into CEAC, this is the summary. This is the summary. So it gives you the overview. Okay, overview of how this page will be and how this process will be. So you can see it shows you how you start, and the first step is submit affidavit of support and financial evidence. From there, you go to submit immigrant visa application and submit civil documents. Then US Embassy or consulate reviews the case. Okay. And then after you're approved, you're prepared for an interview at the embassy. Okay. So you can see for us, this is how our our thing looks like. The first thing you do is you get the affidavit of support from I-864. Okay. And then once you get that affidavit of support, you fill it in, your partner will submit it, or the person filing will submit it, and NVC will review. Okay, and then after that you come and make payments for for the for the affidavit of support. So let me show you what the fees are. So you can see, to view specific fee payment details, click the select button. If you have questions or disagree with the payment status, contact NVC online via Ask NVC. Okay, so you can see when we paid. So the first time my husband paid was 21st December 2021. Affidavit of support, that's AOS. Okay, so you pay $120. All right. Once you make that payment, please note, do not go ahead to make another payment. It will take some time for the payment to reflect. So please give it the time. It's usually 3 to 5 business days, yeah, for that to reflect. So after that, I was still collecting more data myself. So after I got the data, that's when I did what? That's when I did my payment, 31st December. So 10 days later, I did the payment. And it's because also I was trying and it was not accepting the payments. Yeah. So then for the immigrant visa, you pay $325. So that is for the immigrant visa. Okay, to fill in the immigrant visa, that form. Once you've paid, it will honestly tell you paid and all that, and you'll be good to go. So then the first step is making the fees. Then the second step, so this is the second step. Okay, IV application, immigrant visa application. So you click on that, and then this one, because me I've already filled in, that's why it's showing this. But if you've not done anything, you get that form, which is the DS-260 there. So you get the online immigrant visa and alien registration application DS-260. That's what you fill in. So the immigrant visa application, this is the second step. And then after that, you will finalize on this application and you get a confirmation page. So that is the DS-260 confirmation page that is very critical later on in this process or as we proceed. Okay. So once you're done with the immigrant visa application, you go to the next stage, which is documents. This is now where you input all your supporting documents. Okay, so you click on documents. Please submit your requested documents below. If there is more than one financial sponsor on your case, you will need to upload documentation for each sponsor. Okay, so this is affidavit of support. This is supposed to be done by the petitioner or the US citizen or lawful permanent resident. Yeah, so you can see we had already done this. So if it's the first time, you just click on add a document. You choose the document that you're trying to add, and then you upload. Once you upload, you do that for all the documents, and then finally you must click submit for all of them to be in the system. So you can see here on the affidavit of support documents, when you click the documents, there are two tabs. We have the affidavit of support and financial evidence. This is the the petitioner's part, but you can also do it if you're the one who has time. And then we have the second one, the civil documents. So it's two types. You have civil documents and affidavit of support financial evidence. So this is where you put all the financial documents from I-864 and the income tax, the W-2s, 1040s, and tax transcript. You put them here. So let me click here. So civil documents is majorly for the applicant. or the person who is, being filed for. Once you click civil documents, you can see it's the same thing, but now here we are filing mostly the documents of the applicant, the one who is being filed for. So this is where you put the passport biographic page, you put birth certificate, marriage certificate, police certificate, and any proof of the relationship being bona fide, photos, chats, calls, anything that you think will make your case strong, you put it here. Okay, civil documents. Still, how do you do it? Here, add a document. Then you select and just show you this. Upload a document, that's what it looks like. Then you just select what type of document you're adding. You can see, select whatever it is you're adding. Select, there's more option there. Select whatever it is you're adding. And then after you've added, you choose the file. At this point, you've already saved it in your laptop. And then you can put some little comments. And then you click upload here. You click upload. Okay. You can also just look at this process. I've also repeated this process when I'm showing you how to add extra documents after receiving the interview letter. So I'll just cancel this because I don't need to. So once you've paid the fees, you've done the DS 260 and you've input documents, now the NVC will look at your case. Okay, they look at your case. Now the question is, how long does NVC take before they look at your case? So when we were filing, it was 3 months. When we were filing, that was in 2021. Okay, but as of when I'm shooting this video, which is 2024 in January, the wait time for them to review your documents has gone down significantly to just anywhere between 7 days to 1 month. Okay, so back then it was taking long because of COVID backlogs. Now they've cleared the backlogs. NVC has done such a good job. They've cleared the backlogs and they're moving really fast. So once you send your documents, once you submit your documents, I've seen mostly they're taking 7 days to send you any information. So you could get two kind of responses after they look at your documents. The first response could be they need more documents. So this is a ref. Remember we had ref in USCIS. So at NVC stage, there's also ref, request for more evidence. Yeah. So that could be maybe tax, or maybe they could ask for more civil documents, or they could ask you to verify something. So how they send you that information is through this. Yeah. You find they will send you an email and it will come from National Visa Center and it says notice regarding your immigrant visa case. That is the email. So you would click. Once you click on it, then you're able to get the information that they've sent you. So you can see some of the things that they can say. Pay now, invalid document, incomplete, reopened, stuff like that. So for us, we didn't get any of this. We just got a request for more evidence, and that was a W2. So we didn't have one W2. We'd only submitted two for 2 years, so they wanted another one, like another recent one to make it the third year. So we had to now send that. So for us, we submitted everything in January 12, 2022. Yeah, because remember I got approved from USCIS in December 2021. So I was only ready to submit documents after getting them in 2022, January. So this is when I sent it. So it was taking 3 months then. So January, February, March, April of that year, I got an email saying they've updated my case. So I was so excited. I thought, we're almost there. We're done. And so that email says, no, they needed more information. So once you receive an email like that, you have to go onto CESC account to see what they've said. So you can see I have all the messages here. So for me, I have all the messages here. Yeah. So you just click on the messages and then you read what it is that they've said. So you can see they do send you little messages and then you're able to keep track of what it is they're saying. Okay. So once you submit whatever extra they ask you, they would take the same amount of time it takes to review a case. So if it was taking 3 months, they will take 3 months from when you submit the new documents to review again. But if it takes 7 days, they also take 7 days. So for us in April, we got the request for more document we sent, and we had to wait for another 3 months before you could hear from them. So April, May, June, and we had from them again in July. So if they don't ask you for more documents, then the next thing they will approve your case. And by approving your case, there's an email that you get, and that's the most amazing email ever. It's called documentarily qualified email, or the DQ email. Okay, so let me show you this. So as we received it in July, so this is the body of the email that you get from NVC once they're done with your case and there's nothing more for you to do. So they say, notice regarding your immigrant visa case becoming documentarily qualified. This is a very good email for this process, or when you're in this process. It's one of the wins, because then that means NVC has gone through your case, all the documents and everything, and they have approved that case. So this is another big win in that process. The first win is USCIS approving you. The second win is NVC approving you, or documentarily qualifying you. Let's see this sweet email. Let's read it. So ours came in July 7th, 2022. Dear Marion, the National Visa Center received all of the fees, forms, and documents that are required prior to attending an immigrant visa interview at a U.S. Embassy or consulate overseas. NBC will work with the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi, Kenya to schedule an interview appointment for you. So if you're in another country, of course, that will read something else. Once we have confirmed an interview date, we will send a notice to you, your petitioner, and attorney if applicable. That's if you're using a lawyer. Please do not make any travel arrangements, sell property, or give up employment until you have received an immigrant visa from the U.S. Embassy or consulate. I can confirm this. Please do not do it, because for us, it took a whole 18 months. So July 2022 to July 2023, that's 1 year. And then August, September, October, November, December, January. Yeah, 18 months. For us, it took 18 months to actually get, everything done and approved. All right. So take their word seriously. Do not make any serious arrangements, thinking that, you're closing or you're close to the end. Okay. So after this, of course, is to wait for an interview date from the embassy or consulate. Okay. So now, sometimes for some embassies, it takes a short time once you receive this email to get an interview letter. Some embassy, it can take 1 month, 2 months. According to NVC, they say 3 months. But there's a lot of things that happen. Okay. So, like for us, we thought it would take 1 month to 3 months to get, something. So, if you go by that, that means July, August, September. So, by 2022, we should have actually celebrated Christmas in the US if everything went well. But it didn't go well because the Nairobi embassy has been singing they have COVID backlogs. And looks like they were the only ones who were affected by COVID. So it took a whole 18 months for them to give us an interview date. Okay, so that really sucked. It was a long wait, long process, very draining, very heartening. Our baby was growing at this point. It was just crazy. So, but some embassies take a short time. So that really depends on where you are. In Africa, Nairobi is the worst, followed by Nigeria in terms of taking a long time. But we have countries that are very good in terms of taking a short time. In West Africa, there's Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone. Those ones are quick. There's Djibouti on this other end. And Rwanda and Tanzania also are not doing so badly, So in case you have, permanent residence in any of those countries, or you can get permanent residence in any of those countries, then I would suggest you move your case from Nairobi to there. I'll show you how to transfer your case. So please watch, like, subscribe, comment, and follow. Sorry. And I'll be posting how to transfer your case. So anyway, after the long wait for Nairobi Embassy to send an interview date, we eventually got it. Let me show you the email that they sent. Immigrant visa interview appointment, December 4th, 2023. We were ready for an interview in July of 2022. This is December 4, 2023. That's when we're actually getting something. Okay. This is another big win when you're in the process. This is the third win, getting an interview letter. So this one we call it IL. IL. That's the short form. So let's just use IL, okay? So National Visa Center completed processing your immigrant visa application and scheduled your visa interview at the US Embassy for processing. Appointment information is located at the bottom of this email. Only family members listed below in there, who are intending, Okay, for information. Yeah, once you see this email, this is a big win. So congratulations if you receive this email, because this is the third win and you're now truly at the tail end of the process. Okay, the final win, of course, is when you get that email saying that your visa is ready and you can pick your passport. So this is the second last win, and it's a good one. So getting IL is very good. Yeah. So once you receive this, there's a lot of preparations that need to be done. So you need to start prepping for this interview so you can ace it and get a visa so that you're not put on further delays or further processing. Yeah. So now I'll take you through the process of what you do after you receive this interview letter. And this is going to be another video. So let me end this video right here so that it's not as long. And then we meet on the next video where I show you what to do after you receive the interview letter. As always, remember to be kind to one another, love one another, and treasure every minute you spend with one another, because tomorrow is not promised. Ciao.